In 2019, the total life insurance ownership gap, which shows the difference between perceived need and what is actually owned in the U.S., was 9%, with millennials reporting a 78% shortfall and Gen Xers reporting a 48% shortfall in life insurance coverage, with the main reason being prioritizing between having stuff today and taking care of their family in the distant future.
Well, first, this is the right question to ask. I have a lot of passion around this coverage gap, and I feel somewhat personally, having dedicated coming up to 32 years of my life to this profession and covering American families, that this gap has been stubbornly large and not shrinking but growing. So I think first, we need to ask, why is this gap growing? Why is this gap expanding? Is it cost? You mentioned having things today versus protecting your family for the future. I don't think it's cost. Disposable income is higher than it was 40 years ago. The cost of a basic term insurance policy to protect your income as new parents, for example, has shrunk 60%. And that's cost per thousand. When you compare that to disposable income rising over the last 40 years, this is really a low cost issue. And I think paradoxically, that might be part of the problem because it's fueled the exit of many producers, advisors in our profession. Back in the 70s, we had close to 400,000 people that could talk to other people about life insurance in America, and the population was less than 250 million people back then. Now we have roughly 350 million people, and the number of people that can talk to people about life insurance is half of that. So life insurance is something that people do poorly buying themselves. It's not like waking up on a Saturday morning and telling your loved one, hey, we get to go window shopping for Ferraris, and they're excited. They hop up in the morning, they're going. They're going to make a day of that. Life insurance just doesn't get the same reaction, let's be honest. It's something that you're not forced to buy like auto insurance. It's something you should buy and you need to buy. But that leaves open the possibility to people, obviously, to procrastinate or buy less than they need. And we haven't done any favors to the industry by the process. Heavy paper, takes 2 months to get a policy. We stick you with a needle. We send people to your homes to put you on a scale and take your blood pressure and all this. The process is somewhat onerous unless you buy really expensive, simplified or guaranteed issue policies. So part of the problem is we just don't have enough people talking to people about life insurance. So digital needs to step in and help here. And it hasn't to a great extent yet. So if you think about the insurtechs, if you think about the online life insurance options, they're there, but they haven't quite cracked the code to replace a neighborhood relationship talking to you over the kitchen table about your family and the needs of your family and getting you to buy that policy, whether it's a whole life policy or universal life policy or just a basic term policy. And it's going to be a challenge, I believe, to do that in the near future. I think this coverage gap will remain stubborn in the short term. And long term, I think we need to wait for solutions where people more and more may rely on their personal AI to handle things like basic insurance coverages and stuff like that. And that could be 15 years in the future. Who knows? It's hard to predict that stuff.